Hey everyone, today we're going to dive into a really powerful gospel poem by Denis Martindale. It's called Man's Greatest Power is Perseverance, and we're going to break down its core message about where our real strength actually comes from.
At its heart, the poem asks a question that I think we've all asked ourselves at some point. When life gets incredibly hard, where do we find the power to just keep going? Well, this explainer is all about the poem's answer, and it might not be what you expect.
So, to get us started, the poet gives us a key to unlocking his whole perspective. He sets up this comparison between two completely different lives, all to teach us one single powerful lesson.
And wow, what a contrast it is. On one hand, you've got Methuselah, who lived for more than 9 centuries, and on the other, Jesus Christ, whose life lasted just 33 years. The author's point is immediate and, well, pretty blunt, right? He's basically saying, hey, the length of your life, it doesn't matter. What really matters is the perseverance you show in the time you're given.
And this brings us to what the poem really means by perseverance. See, it's not what you might think. It's not just about gritting your teeth and fighting your fate. Nope. It's defined more as a faithful acceptance. It's the strength to face whatever life throws at you, all while trusting that there's a divine plan at work.
Okay, so how does the poem build on that idea of faithful acceptance? Well, it starts with a choice, a really fundamental choice that every single one of us has to make when things get tough. And let me tell you, the poem does not pull any punches here. It frames perseverance as a heroic act, plain and simple. When you're in the middle of all that trouble and strife, just making the decision to keep going, to choose life, well, that's the hero's path. But, and this is a big but, choosing life isn't just a one-and-done deal. It's actually the start of an ongoing struggle. The poem is really clear that this isn't some external fight. The real battle is internal. It's that continuous fight against what it calls the dark night of the soul and our own deepest fears.
So when you break it down, this battle is incredibly personal. It's all happening inside you. It never really stops, and it forces you to look your biggest fears right in the eye. All right, so if life is this constant internal battle, how in the world are we supposed to win it? It's a fair question, right? Well, the next part of the poem gives us the answer, and it all boils down to just one thing: faith. And there it is. The poem suggests that true wisdom isn't about being fearless, it's about having faith. Faith is presented as the essential tool, the key ingredient that lets you endure whether the battle is large or small. But this isn't some passive, sit back and wait kind of faith. Oh no. It's an active process. It's about facing your sorrows head on, actively seeking spiritual strength, taking life as it comes, and still looking forward to tomorrow, knowing it's going to have both good times and bad. That last part, looking forward to both joy and strife, that brings us to another huge theme in the poem. And that's this idea that life itself is built on a kind of fundamental duality. The author uses a really simple but brilliant metaphor to explain this: a coin. Think about it. You can't have a coin with just one side, right? It's impossible. And life is just like that. It has its ups and downs, its light and its darkness. You just can't separate them. The whole poem is woven with these inseparable pairs. For every trouble, there is joy. For every strife, there is life. The core idea is that you can't have one without the other. In a way, they're what give each other meaning.
So here's the crucial point. This duality isn't a mistake or a flaw in the system. According to the poem, it's a fundamental part of the sacred gift of life itself. The struggle, the hard stuff, that's actually part of what makes the soul blessed.
So you've got this choice to live, this constant internal battle, this whole idea of duality. And it's all building up to the poem's powerful conclusion where it tackles, life's ultimate question. Basically, everything we've talked about leads to this one point. Real perseverance, it's not about trying to live forever or cheat death. It's about the quality of the life you live, the faith you show, and accepting a timeline that just isn't up to us.
And the poem wraps up with this incredibly profound statement of surrender and trust. This, right here, is the ultimate act of perseverance, living your life to the absolute fullest while accepting that the final judgment belongs to a higher power. So when all is said and done, the poem leaves us with this powerful message.
True perseverance isn't just stubborn endurance. It is an active, faithful acceptance of the whole package, the good, the bad, the beginning, and the end, all rooted in trust for a divine plan. And that leaves us with a really big question to think about, doesn't it? After everything this poem suggests, what does perseverance really mean to you? Is it about fighting tooth and nail to change your circumstances at all costs? Or is it about finding the strength and faith to endure within them? Something to chew on. Thanks so much for joining me for this breakdown.